and welcome to the Craft World YouTube blog hop. I am here, I'm Lou Collins, and I've also got the Craft World editor, Natalie Hellier, if you use her whole name. Hello, Happy New Year.
Happy crafty new year to you, Lou.
And you. So we're all talking about crafts. You have joined us for the blog hop. If you've just jumped in on the Craftstash YouTube channel, you need to go back because we're actually the second video in line. If you go along to craftworld.com, you'll find all the information there. There are prizes up for grab for commenting and subscribing on everyone's post. But you may have joined us from Sherry Wolf's Craft Pray Repeat. That is a mouthful, but Craft Pray Repeat on YouTube. You can go back and start with her. We have got so much fun throughout this entire blog hop. Lots and lots of amazing crafters, fantastic projects and tutorials, but we are here to talk to you about what we think are the paper craft trends.
In our expert opinion.
Exactly. We are experts. Natalie, can you tell everyone a little bit about what you're doing? Because I'm sure all of the crafters throughout the blog hop are going to be mentioning you anyway. So who are you?
Who the heck am I? So I'm Natalie Hellier. I've been in the industry for just about 10 years, I think. I know, I don't look old enough, sorry. And I started off as a paper crafter, and now I'm very much a soft crafter. I'm the editor of CraftWorld, so it's my job to bring you all the inspiration with your lovely self, Lou. And to keep my finger on the pulse of what's crafty. And it's quite fun to know that we're the only Brits in the lineup, bringing our own flavour to it.
We're very British.
Because, yes, we drink our tea like this. Because quite often we actually look to the US for trends.
Yes, we
Things
do.
filter down to us. We're always looking at, Spellbinders, all the big US brands for sort of inspiration for us in the UK. What's the big show that they do?
Oh, the Creativation?
Yes, yeah. And there's always really cool stuff coming out of that. So
absolutely.
I think that's where we first saw succulents and like diamond dyes and all the really cool contemporary stuff that came down.
Absolutely.
And the same.
As you say, you've got to keep your finger on the pulse. I'm interrupting you there because there's a little bit of a delay. But you have to keep your finger on the pulse for Craft World. I do work with yourself, which is amazing. You're like one of my favourite team members. Don't tell anyone else. But I also work with Craftstash. So Craftstash has got the most amazing online craft shop. You will find absolutely everything there. And the two of us, we just work together so well, don't we? With the Craftstash and Craft World.
And top tip, they've just got a load of really cool like New Year, new craft kits on Craftstash. So if you want to have a go at macrame,
I know, I'm the same.
Do you say it in American? Macrame.
There we go.
Cross stitching. They've just got diamond painting. Have you ever tried that, Liz?
Yes, my son's done it. It gets everywhere, but it's beautiful.
Gosh, I don't know if I have the patience for that, but they have so many kits over on Craftstash, so I'm gonna have a little shop with my Christmas pennies and try out a few new things.
Perfect. So I think the one thing we think of when we think of craft trends is, of course, colour. And the Pantone colours of the year have just been released. Do you want to run us through them? Because I know you're a massive colour fan.
So the Pantone colours of 2021 are Ultimate Grey and Uplifting.
And they work really well together.
As you can guess from the grey, it's a grey. But the Uplifting is like a nice, like pale-ish yellow.
Excuse me, yes. I got really excited then. Yeah. Because they are some of my daughter's or two of my daughter's favourite colours to go together and have been for a few months. I think she's there. She knows.
Yeah, to me, as soon as I saw them, I thought like a baby's nursery.
Yeah, exactly. I think they work
like
really
a neutral.
Well with
that. They're really nice. But the good thing is and a top tip that I have for everyone, or something I tend to do when we can go out to DIY shops, is that if you go somewhere like B&Q, I can't think of an American equivalent.
I don't know. The only shop I know in America, sorry everyone, is Walmart.
We're so bad. Anyway, B&Q, Wix, all that kind of thing. If you just go to a paint swatch department, you can pick up lots of small, swatches, which actually work really well for craft projects.
Oh, they do, because you can punch into them, you can die cut them, just snip them up. Yeah, they look fantastic.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think they notice when I come in and steal the, the lot and
When you bring
lock
in
them in
your
a bag.
box and you fill it up, I think they notice, yes,
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, but it's really good for making your own background papers and textures and all that kind of stuff as well. It's good to have a play with. It's good to have a play with, strip it back to basics and do something with cardstock rather than, going above and beyond with everything else.
Absolutely.
But
Well, speaking of that, actually, if you want to start incorporating those colours, I've actually picked from my Tim Holtz Distress inks or Distress Oxide 2 colours that I think work really well. So hopefully you can see those. So we have got pumice stone and scattered straw. So if you've got those at home already, that is actually a little bit darker than it shows on the label, but they are beautiful colours, and they are the closest that I've found in the Tim Holtz ranges that match those colours. And do you know what? Everyone's got distress inks at home. So
do you know, once I found oxides, I can't go back.
I know, and I
can't go back to the normal
I've probably
colours.
got 20 or more inks, and I now need to get them all in oxides and then all the new colours as well.
Yeah. Do they do the dinky ones as well?
I do have
Dinky
them.
oxides.
I have. Can you just see here 3 tins full
You're,
of the dinky ones?
you're so organised.
No.
And I love that you have a home decor background, and I've put up a screen so that you can't see the mess of fabric that is behind me. This
we
is my
love
craft
fabric.
room. Oh gosh, Lou, it's such a mess. I'm such a messy crafter, so
It's perfect.
maybe on
Everyone
another
is.
video.
No, we're leaving that in. We're leaving that in because that leads perfectly into fabric embroidery. You were speaking to me about this. You can see lots happening.
Yeah, so there's a new trend, or the things, you often see in the soft craft world, there are like, ancient crafts that come around and around, like macrame is one of them. And embroidery's obviously been going since the whatever century.
A long time.
Obviously in a very ornate way, yes. And then throughout time, people would embroider like pillowcases and things like that. But lately, they've seen a big boom in like textured embroidery. So it's bringing elements like out of the frame. Yeah, so you can transform quilts, you can transform, most people do hoops and things like that, hoop art, typography, which you know about a lot about.
I do, yes.
Everything just sort of blends together, but there's some really fun artwork that people are doing with like maybe people with the hair coming out of the frame.
I've seen those, and things like bunnies where the tail is actually a pom-pom coming out of it. And
so more of a 3D version of what's traditionally very 2D.
So we're looking at lots of dimension, do you think?
I think so, yeah. There's a lot of things going on this.
Obviously, everyone's been indoors more, finding ways to make themselves feel better, feel more positive. And mindful crafts have been huge in 2020. In fact, they were actually creeping in 2019 anyway. And I just think that is a trend that is going to keep on rising, because at the moment, we're not getting out of this situation anytime soon, and it works, doesn't it? And we talk about mindful crafting. We're talking about colouring, doodling, Zentangle, lettering, journaling can get in there as well, because that's very good for you, for just making yourself feel better and feel more positive. So I think those sort of crafts, and any soft crafts that are mindful. So when I think of mindful, I think of small detail that takes a long time but it's repetitive. Yeah, that's what I think.
Crochet is probably quite mindful.
Yeah, I should imagine so.
Yeah, something, or the pro of soft crafts is that you can quite often sit in front of the TV at the same time.
Exactly, and that is the thing. You don't have to think too much. You're actually relaxing while you're doing it. And the end result is usually absolutely beautiful. So one of my trends that I think is going to happen more and more in 2021 is we're going to see people bringing those crafts, those doodles on scraps and colouring bits and Zentangling and things on their cards, because they love the effect. Now, someone who does that very well is Lou Withers. She doodles and then she'll cut it out, or she'll doodle straight onto a card base, and it's beautiful. And I think we're going to see
love
more
that. The freedom of just it's so arty, isn't it, really? Like, a lot of people will have got into crafts from art and things that they did at school.
Absolutely.
And to have that sort of freedom of journaling, doodling, putting your thoughts down on paper and not really worrying about them looking perfect is a big thing to overcome, I think.
I think it is. I'm just going to move on really quickly so that we get through our list, because we can talk, can't we?
I know. Yeah.
We can talk for
3 hours later. Yeah.
That's our meetings usually. So talking about actually taking people away from the norm and what they're used to, and tool cards. Now, this is something that for a lot of people makes them itch a little bit, because it's like, well, it's not square, or it's not your A5 or 10 by 15, or however you want to size your cards. I love tool cards. I think they are so contemporary, and you've got lots of scope for doing something different to what you'd usually do. So it might be put a really long sentiment on. I've actually got some tool card base. These are huge ones.
Oh, wow.
But we're talking about this sort of orientation. So they really are long.
Yes. I mean, so my brain said DL, but you've gone.
No, we're talking slimmer, taller than what we would. So DL would usually be
the supermodel of the card world.
It really is exactly that. I think we're going to see these a lot more now, and I think we're then going to lead into seeing a lot of different card shapes, because we're allowing people to realize that they don't have to stick to their usual 6x6, 7x7, 8x8 square cards, or the usual rectangles, what I call fat rectangles that we're used to seeing, rather than the tall slim ones. So that's definitely going to be a trend. And places like Craftstash, for example, are bringing in more and more pre-made card bases in these alternative shapes. So they're well worth looking out for there.
It'd be nice to see people make their own envelopes as well. That's probably what holds people back in making unusual shaped cards, the idea that you have to have the envelope to match.
Well, I did actually see as a company, it completely escapes me, has started doing dies for tool cards. So for the envelope, so you can actually start die cutting the envelope. So it's definitely, it's going to be an avalanche of tool cards now, I think, in inspiration galleries and things.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Oh, I look forward to seeing some more. That one went straight over my head. But I think we've summed up 2021 quite well, or hopefully. Let's hope our prediction.
There's always a few surprises, and there's always a few that jump in with, oh, didn't see that one coming. But no, hopefully that's everything that we can think of. You can start keeping an eye out for those, and definitely try something new. That's always a resolution for me. I don't usually make resolutions, but this year is absolutely make sure I try something new, because there are so many new crafts on the market. So if you are joining us and you're planning on going ahead and continuing with the blog hop, there are prizes to be won. As you can see, there's details on craftworld.com, but what you need to be doing is subscribing and commenting on each of the channels. So you've just joined us from Sherry Wolf. You're now going to be going along to Sandy. Sandy is a design team member for Craftstash. We absolutely love having her, and we have to say thank you to her for organising much of this blog hop as well. She can be found on YouTube on Decorate Your Life. That is her channel name, with the 8 in there, Decor 8 Your Life. So go find her over there, and like I say, do make sure you're commenting and subscribing. But essentially you do need to go back to craftworld.com to make sure you're leaving a comment on the post. If you're wondering why you need to put in an email address, we just take an email and a password to register you completely for free, and then you're part of Craft World for life. You can come back and join us and see the inspiration and join in with the experts anytime you like. I have to say thank you, Natalie, for joining me, because
thank you very much.
Ideas there. It's been good fun chatting to you.
It has been good fun, and I want to win prizes, and I want to connect with our US audience.
You can't win. You can connect, absolutely. You can go along and subscribe, but you're not winning anything. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Me neither. So don't feel bad. We will see you all again very soon. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the Craftstash and Craft World blog hop. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.